Live from the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort Studio in Farmington Hills, Michigan, it's the John Zia Oram Show.
شد مردوثة البايد شن بلا خيون بث نهرين معمورين شلامة وحباب براسي وين كلذانا يا كلذانا يا بشرى بمشمي ما دم ما بش صبيان دمي ما أمسد ليلة لم كمي كلدانا يا كلدانا يا عموري ون وبرجد باب البنية ون قانون دخاية درية ون بش منك ما بقيل دماء حيلي كوش ما دخن دقاريلي آوا مثلو أنا خيلي كلدانا يا كلدانا يا كلدانا يا كلدانا يا كلدانا يا يا برونة أمتي جبارة أمت خوال اللخ بسفارة مرمتش محباورة كلدانا يا كلدانا يا
Pascala John Zia Oram ile number 1 show.
بولس شليحة قرطة دلوث روماية حاي بارخ ماف كلازمة إلا أخني خيلانة الطقنو خربيوث دمحيلة ولجلو خلمندي دك مرضيلا وكلنا شمنا شجاي المندي دك مرض قريوة تطوتا وتبنيانا مشيحة لطلب لمندي دك مرضيلة اللي دغديلك ثيوة لو مدم لو ما نديوخ مبل إلي بيت كل من دي بشلك ثيوة من قميثة بشلك ثيوة تيولبانا تدم حصلخ الأمود أنا محصلخ المنديد ميراك ثواني من مصيبرانوثة وسولايا ألها دم صيبرانوثة وسولايا يا ولوخن حويا ذا عقل ديوخن بقاود إيشو عمشيحة تدم شبحوتن بخلبة وخلوشانا ألها دمارن إيشو عمشيحة وبابي بدم قبولو خالخنا دخد كم قابلو خون مارن إيشو عمشيحة تشوحد ألها ونعم وشلام من كل أخنا خواتي آمين كلن قيموا وقت تشامخ اليوم قاليون قديشا
شلام عم خون ونقال يوم قديش دمارا يشام شيحا كارزو ثاد متايم ميرمار اللي دارو تنطلق خزنا ثبقاود أرا ايكد عثا وأخلتك مخبلي وايكد قناوي القنوي وكنغبيم إلا درو طلق خزناث بشمية ايكد ليث لا خبلت ولا قناود مخبليم وايكد قناوي لا غيبات قنوي وتوريم دخدي دارو تنطلق خزناث تامهم بتا ولبوخم اشرقت بارا اين لا ان اخويا بشطة بارخ كل بهور لم وان اين اخويا بشتا كل بارخ خشكلم ام بهرديث بقاو خشكدي يخما قبد هاوم لا ناشا يبدا دعاب تريستا والبلا خذ تريستا ذواثم خاب السان واخنا بدبايا وخاب يا خر واخنا بدمرازم لبوخن لبلاخة ألا وتمان بسبب آذي كمرن طلاخم ألا دارت تجنوخن وأمروت ما بدخلوت وما بالشاتوت لا تبوروخن ما بدلوشوت موليلة جانا بشطا من ميخلت وبارا من الوشتم خور برخت دشمية لا قزرة ولا غصدا ولا أقدر يبقى ود عنبارم وبابوخن ديل بشمية كم دابيرام وشو حال لها أميناي أخواتي وخثواتي كلهم شركوا خمت كان مقروت الدوحثة آلا هيتا بيش مقروت النتاثا أخندي وحاضر آخر بشروك بعباد الصلوثة وكل هدام ديام شركة بقاود أخوية لبديش وعندي لي حاضر وعندي لي غايب وعندي لي بني خاي وعندي لي مشني الخاي أبدي ناي هم كلها نتاثت بشلاوي الإديومة اللي انمذب حد مريا بيش غبيل الجيبة هم النيت الحطاي دار التياوثة نيت العنيت المطهر نيت دكريه ديا إيقب أوقانا سنيقم وجهج نيت الشين وشلام بقاود علمة كله وأثرواثا وعمديا نيت دي تقدشت ورشان وكهندية النيت العمم شي حايدين بربز بقاود علمة وأندي لاب أوقانا مريا عاينا النيت تقريات تكهنوثة وربنوثة تبيت المريا بدل كل أني نتاثة ونتاثوخ ونتاثة خنم صالح كلهم بغداد خبابا دشمي وخشلام الله مريم وشوحة بابا ديل بشمي شوحة بابا برون وروحه
شما عزيزم شنين الرحمد مريم حسيد ترافر تامس قرياقوزا برونا شاب مواليد 90 مثل بقاود فيروس كورونا مصالخ النيتي ونيت نشواثي ونيت عائلتي وهم مصالخ وطلبخ من مريا لها تدياول تكلي شباب وجوانق تدهاوى شيار من دار ذي كرهانة تدارا بالا مع الأسف كبيرة منن خشوخ انه انيو ما تذكر هانا ذا الفيروس فتلة بس اكيد ليلة هذخ بريشوث دهدي لبقراوة ستوى تاوخ بشكابر دارخ بالم بشكابر ديلا ان شباب دهب بشكابر بقي حياة فيروس وبشكابر الى مأذوي وببياشا لاصح من دث نوع فيروس دلتا فيرينت إلى ببراسة بقاود على كله سوم صالخ الخدميري النيتد الشاب شمي ترافر تامس قرياقوزا دي خوط لاثي شنة دي برونيد تام وسينثيا قرياقوزا دي أخوني لانن قرياقوزا ودي برد برونيد محسيا معلم يوسف قرياقوزا ومحسيا دروكسي يلدو ودي عمواثي وخلواثي وخلتاثي وأمتاثي وفاء قرمو سناء بهورة سالي نيجر لو قرياقوزا سيلفانا جوني جوزيف قرياقوزا تيري يلدو برنارد يلدو محسيثة شيرل يلدو باتريك باميلا ومحسيا إد كانث يلدو إد يوم خشكا ويراز دقورت ديه ومصالخ النيت عائلتي بشكابر باب يمي بقاود أثزون تحشد أكيد ليلة سهلة خاتت قاور شاب زورة ببريشوث هذا مفاجأة يعني هذا دلوي ولا لا صح ثوالت شو مندي دوي كلش طاوة وقم شبثة خوشابة وكل عائلة جميعة أمتاثي وعمواثي كل جميع بغداد وكلش بكل بصخوثة بس طليلة فيروس ومريا لها ياول كل سولاية ونيخوثة تكلي ناشد بيثي إلى بطانة حشة بأث عدانا هم مشونين الرحمن مريم حسيثة بهيجة فرانسيس كتوش اديم خشكا ويوراز دقورت ديام صالخ النيتا ام حسيثة بهيجة فرانسيس كتوش اد إيلا برات دم حسيا اد غرابات وكاترينا منا وديلا بختد محسيا فرانسيس كتوش ديلا يمد مايك رافد لينا وإيفا وديلا خاثد فارس منا عبد منا فؤاد وحميد وإيفلين ومحسيث السليمة ومحسيث ماري منا هم مشونيل الرحمد مريا محسيث بور جبو شمعون بدها راز دقورت ديا صبرة ثلاث شابة السلم خشكة من ايتد مريا سبم ذي ديتروي محسيث بير بوري جبو شمعون بدها راز دقورت ديا صبرة ثلاث شابة السلم خشكة من ايتد مريا سبم ذي ديتروي ألام حاسيلة ويا ولا ملكوذ شمية وشما عزيزة يوم دقروت تفتلم بالبقاوي إذا مرشمعن مرصباعي الذخرانة اكمعيدوخ أث قديشة وقديشة سهد رابة حسب تقصد ايتديان كالديثة اد آوي وبطرك اد ايتديان كالديثة وآو وكبيرة من قاشة ومطرانة وماسيرات كثيلا برسايم ويعني هجهجت ربثة تأيتا كالديثة ثيلا قصلا ريشوافد كل أن مطارنا وقاشة وبطاركة بقروتة حشة من هذا كشها تكتخرخ لا كل أن سهدة بس ببريشوثة مرشوم عن برصباعي دول خايدية تأيتا ديا تهيمانوثة دي بقاود مارن إيشو عمشيحة مصالح وطلبخ من مريا لها تدهمخني تاوخ سهدة بقاود خايديا تدياوخ كل من دي تنياثن عواذن خوشاون تاوى سهدوثة تمريا لها يوم بطر يوم كد هاوخ مثل طاوة خنة وكشوقنا خو بشلامة شما عزيزة مني أنا جونيور عصام يوحنان جواد. Thank you and have a great show.
أنا ملبانة يلدا قلة قدار الإسلامي قمايا تأخوني جان زي أورم وقدار إسلامي خن زودانا الأخواتي سالم جدو وأخواتي وأخوني جان يلدا خوشابه تتهاوى بصيخ أمه وآي قصيدة زين أمرنا دها إلى تجان زي أورم بس وأني بتواب شمعة
مقبول.
يا جان زي أورم يا قورة الزونة خاثة يا جان زي أورم يا قورة الزونة خاثة اكطلب طال وصاخوثة وبيث ملي بركاثة مريم حاسيل بابوخ مرحبة ومرطاواثة تولي أمخ كم خازنخ قورة نيخة ومكيخة اكشقلت وكياود بديوثة بعيانة ولبخ بصيخة مريم بتهاوي أمخ وعمرخ بتاوي يريخة بس قالت كم شارتن بلوشانة بابا وساوة إيشع وتلميذ دي بقاود سورة محكاوة كالداي كم يقريلخ لذشولة رابة وطاوة طالخ كياون هوناي يا جان زي أورم كهند إيتا كم يقرت يلباند روح دايم مريا إيل بعيانوخ بصلوثة ديمة مريم مريا إيل بعيانوخ بصلوثة ديمة مريم وكشوقنوخ بشلامه.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm Mario George Zoma.
This is Brooklyn Marie Hadir Yaldo.
I'm Isabella Alos.
This is Abigail Rita Hadir Yaldo.
I'm Grace Davish. Welcome to the John Zia Oram Show. I'm Maxwell Munder Zoma. Shlama.
Shlama locho chawatha v'chatwatha John Zia Oram. Oh, it was double. Shlama locho yelid yutur shabo. Show birch makala. Tlathos three bircha. Thank you, Achu. I can't even hear him. Okay. So yuchamochu, thank you. Marmanochu. We like it. Kathok tur shabo, arbu shabo, uruta. We hear. We speak English because my grandkids are listening. I love you guys, and I love you, Mom. And it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 5 to 7 p.m., like Miles would say, 5 to 7 p.m. And Apples, Alexa, YouTube, Facebook, johnzaoram.com, Snap, and Instagram. No, all of them, and johnzaoram.com. Anytime. So akhwato khatwato iwo khamochu idin kabira mandana kibukhun mahko khamochu abad kamaya corona. Anna Woodley shot number 3 as Thursday. I vaccine Pfizer mira hakuma idiu dakatra khuri kamamrili ibudum khabrutum kamna now at amruh certain age over 60 mukhaberi CVS come down in the computer Kimiawili reservation to us Thursday, shot number 3. Because it was first thing is Alam Hasi Alam Mandana de Junior. Unbelievable. Especially the young people. At Corona Lepishke so argument di Mila. One day I'm arguing with the person that doesn't believe in vaccine. And one day I'm arguing with somebody believe. And the good one to arguing about is the doctors because they agree it's science. And that's what I mean. I am. Look at me. I'm scared. I don't want to catch this thing. I have 2 vaccines. I'm going for my 3rd one, 4th one, 5th one. We've been taking the flu shot since I was 10 years old. So I guess it's going to be the same. So it's up to you. Matkibotu dodutu, wudu kefohu, shokla bidalaha khwatit kamrutu, but it's not a joke. And if you're not vaccinated, imor tanashan mahkotu umme, especially me, when you come around me and my guys. I'm not vaccinated. It's fine. So we know we can stay 6 feet apart because we're scared. This is not a shame. لخلقنا خبث مندي. المندي عار. It's very tough. I was doing a visit National Mustashfa, and they told me, nope, stay outside. Lab waiting room. Outside. That was 2-3 days ago. Outside. I know. كنا مشوريلا كورونا شتقة لو نبيوارا ببلاطة مستشفياتا. This time I learned my lesson just last week. So drobara legenochu bethman dane dili bebrayo. Athmandi le wathen mera na mraqaba dio videos kabira un bofisio mo kulle dio. Dr. Basil Brichu, Dr. Gepi, Dr. Barchu, kulle wa bimar last year. This August. August at Fitle Idu Esheptho Sapro Omachino week ago, month ago. Well Abimara, be careful, especially Dr. Brichu. He was very adamant about it. Yani mir lazim. So Antoniat and Mira and the beautiful doctors Dian, Kabir Nashila Bichai. وأنا محسي زلا منن لا خلك يا ذا ميلت من دي أنا محكاب دمي لك كذا خلي زالة وقال زالة مني لا ميرا يلام سين agreement يا من دي ميلام سين عادي ليش لي I know على دلاوت خان زال مستشفى I'm not صبيتي بمرأة يا من دي زل emergency لازم شوقي لخدار that tells you something I بأمريكا ها لا بعراق I بعراق is a different story. So bad news. This is more like uneducated before we start bringing doctors. The reason Latin Kabira guest up Chazotu El show, because really it didn't want people here. It's a very serious matter. Thwalan 3 people zorde. Cha Coleman Young Jr. Cha Paul Menny. Ila Siyasa running for office. But I love to have people here. This is a very, very big studio. And it holds more than 1, 2, 3, 4 microphones. It done a producer, I خمسة. And idu yukhano hanna achu acho, because I'm around him all the time. Aun yauli corona. I think I have it before I get here, right, Achu?
Right.
You'll have it, but you took your vaccine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ubamroch Bishkaber, almost 80 years old, and you took it, right?
I took both of them, yeah.
You took, and you're gonna look to take 3rd one.
Yeah, pretty soon.
Good for you. Oh, why take it?
I want to live.
You think you live or die by not taking it?
Of course.
How?
Because I'm old. I have low immune. My immune system is very low.
So you don't listen to Chris Wani Kamri that doesn't work? Wani like that Allah? They cough all day?
I believe in it.
Your kids believe in it?
Sure. We took it all.
Everyone took it?
Yeah.
So you would bought to a businessman, you would retired, so you believe that you should be vaccinated. Mila vaccinated anyway.
I have a stronger immune system. Have a stronger immune system in your body. Protect you from all kind of sicknesses, from especially COVID-19. And now there's a new thing coming out. They call it Salalat Delta. The first person had it in Egypt. They announced that there's a Salalat Delta appeared in Egypt. They are very, very curious, very يعني متحضرين منها. They are very يعني Kamrila. Anyway,
Mila.
yeah. And,
what is it?
Delta.
Get to the mic. Get to the mic. You're reading.
Salala Delta is the other kind of sickness like COVID-19.
That you can catch it.
Yeah, you can catch it.
So don't forget, we're still lucky the COVID-19 is only a year and a half old, right? I think about last March we were here March 27. We quit.
Yeah.
By then we came back, and Dr. Brichu actually talked us out of it. I'm hoping to have Dr. Brichu next week to tell us ميل ببرايم ناشا وقيل ناشا ريشي قوية لا ناشا دي أي ناشا دي أنهار super قوية لا ريشي because they're not listening. Ethan any vaccination politic إلى بهذا effect سياسة ماني بشاقل له أي مخاطة ليلة ميل ببرايم بث مخاطة أخواته وخثواته فالآخر ليلة بزالة شولة أنا ودلي ستادي أشبثه قامت داروخ لبث راديو بجان زي أورم شو وليلة ناشي بزالة شولة because he لابش قال unemployment ده 50 ناشي ده 3 ناشي بقيرة نخني بشوارع كامل ليلة بزالة شولة because exedi دالة شولة they scared to work half probably is because they collected unemployment that was normal and half they are scared to work. They're not going to work. And the age is not going to work to make economy work. We're going to crash somehow. It's between age and 30 and 55. Leila and Ikhwatat Kamruk, young kids, Leila big over 55, 60, is that middle age that runs America. What Amradile, like Bazala Shulela Bizda. So if you go to emergency and if you go to the hospital, it used to be 4, 5 nurses on the hospital floor. And I know nurses paid, they get pretty good money. They're not enough for what they do. And I was told there's only like 1 nurse on the floor, or maybe 2, maybe 1.5 comes part-time. So, mil bebrayo, drobara ligenochu achawata chatwata mil bebrayo. But go get your vaccine. Listen to the doctors. I want to thank all our doctors, Dian Nashidian Kamayo. Love you to death. Makodutu makashkullochu chance umakawotu os die shatka. Still, because you're in the frontline workers, Kulmindi, Nersat, technical, pharmacy, staff, home care, like Jeff Horus, is unbelievable. Because Mila Babraya, it is very hard to discuss this thing. I show almost larja alillah. Okay, kulmindi lisad, but we owe it to the people to give them the information. We owe it to bring you the news the best we can. Akhnir, Blushana Diyan, Blushana Saraya Diyan. Live. This is a live show. Okay? Ila live umochu. Ukamodano kut yomal yomo. تدي أوخلوخ غبار خوات دود لخونا جونيور خوات زيقار خونا حنا خوات داثيلن some nation محكو خمي only relate to health سياسة because ليو خنت آخو تدمر خنمن دانا is very hard on us and حنا وبماري إديو بعراق is a really horrible situation بس ليلة العراق خرب لبنان بسوريا عجب تركيا بيونان فرنسا ناشا أصيب دكانة وليوتو بشمو دخيلة بثايا ليلة مليون مطار ناشا so they coming from overseas. That just got blocked out and totally blocked out. Not only blocked out by United States government, it got blocked out by Corona in those countries. How do you leave? How do you get here? And how expensive it got. To take a family, Arbanashe, mother and father, maybe 2 kids, we'll say 5 years ago, Iraq, yam Europa, yam Greece, yam Dukakhurta, maybe it was $3,000-4,000. Today, I guarantee you it's about $8,000. It's not easy. So you got to be very careful. We are with you here. We'll 7 o'clock at night. It then Iduham American Chaldeans in USA. We want to play it. It is a very critical moment for it. I always see that. I had family member shot and killed in this video they will show. And we have to, because you know what? Of Detroit, especially Achageben, San Diego, of Arizona, Nevada, Chicago, Ikadilasaraidian. in the big city where we work. إلى crime like nothing before. يعني هم this weekend again of Detroit Highway. لا زلوخو الكاسينات بديترويت نيبوخو بليلك زلوخو أنا نويدا. I'm scared. Gotta be scared. إلى بلاج بمخايا ناشي بكيك ما خابينا لكم من بإنجليزي بكيك ما خابينا تغضى بطلقات هاري الأخوات دي بطورة حرب يدوي موصل من داعش ثيلا. Okay. لزلوخو شغلو تولاتش and زلوخو بلوتو 11 10 11 o'clock بليل دورو البيثوخو. Because those today's study we did here today قريلا most this weekend كل shooting قبريلا after 10 11 o'clock at night. وقبار هذا بشارع هذا اخوات الكابوي. So هذا غبار دي غبالوخو خامن نوخو خان شامي only one listens one at a time. Then we know we did our job. We give you the news. We try to tell you what it is. دايما معكم موخو بتلفونا because ليوخو بثيخي ده بتخوخ لا بعدين with the design at the studio just in case the مخبرين عن خورتا جاي دمري لازا local show or there's not. I don't know. So it's coming. I know it's coming. So أخواتا وخلطواتا, we'll be right back and thank you for watching John Zia Oram Show.
أهلا بكم في سورن إيجل كاسينو ريزورت أند هوتيل المجددة حديثا على آخر طراز ذات 7 نجوم. كومفورت سويت لا مثيل لها في أي أوتيل آخر. أجنحة خاصة للكاسينو على آخر موديل. مطاعم عديدة، أكلات لذيذة حسب الطلب. سحبات يومية مربحة وجوائز ثمينة عديدة دائما. نولي سورن إيجل واتر بارك أند هوتيل، ألعاب مائية ومسبح للأطفال لجميع الأعمار. موقع خيالي وكأنك في أي جزيرة محببة لك. للحجز والمعلومات الاتصال 877-232-4532 877-232-4532.
Regency Manor Banquet Hall. Telephone 248-353-1133. السيد أمير نيجر مستعد لإقامة كافة مناسبات الحفلات والتعاسي وغيرها. مشهورين ومختصين بعمل الشاورما اللذيذة وجميع المشويات والقواضي والصواني المشكلة بأنواعها. جلسات ليلية ممتعة مع الأهل والأصدقاء من الاثنين وحتى الخميس من كل أسبوع. بار كامل من المشروبات الروحية. المحل واقع على الميل 12 ما بين تلغراف ونورث وسترن هايواي. تلفون 248-353-1133 248-353-1133. Regency Manor يرحب بكم.
Southfield Funeral Home, Jerry and Ferial Yonu, 12 Mile in Southfield for 37 years, 17 Mile in Rhine, second location. They do funerals, كل أمريكا, Michigan, كل ستيتات, California, Arizona, على لاوث, أمد كبة, خابر جيري and Ferial Yonu. West Side 248-569-8080. East Side 586-275-0429. 37 years in business. Price, quality, service, excellent. أي شغل شنة funeral home business. That's all they do. هراي لشولي. They're part of our community and we are part of them. 37 years. Jerry and Ferial Yon.
أسواق قاشات Mediterranean Market and Bakery. ساهر قاشات وأولاده يقدمون لكم بضاعة شرقية مستوردة يوميا من كافة مستلزمات مطبخ ربة البيت، من المعلبات، الأجبان، الألبان، الشرزات، الترشي، البهارات، فواكه وخضروات فريش يوميا، لحومات طرية منوعة فريش، فروزن فود، ديري فود، أطيب المشويات اللذيذة. مطعم كامل داخل المحل لتلبية طلباتكم وحفلاتكم. صمون ومعجنات حارة يوميا. Carry Out and Catering. المحل واقع على شارع نورث وسترن هايواي والميل 14. تلفون أسواق قاشات 248-538-9552 248-538-9552. تلفون المطعم 248-538-9558 248-538-9558. أهلا وسهلا بالجميع.
أخبار العراق. نشرة الأخبار يقرأها لكم حنا عتشو من جان زي أورم شو. وإليكم التفاصيل. الكاظمي مقبلون على الانتخابات، أما أن نختار الفوضى أو التغيير. قال رئيس الوزراء العراقي مصطفى الكاظمي اليوم الاثنين أن البلد مقبل على الانتخابات، فأما أن نختار القتال أو الفوضى أو التطوير والتغيير. وخلال لقائه عدد من الشيوخ أكد أنه لن يكون الإرهاب أي حاضنة في العراق، لا بيننا ولا في أي مكان أرض العراق، ولن نسمح لأي كان أن يستهدف الأجهزة الأمنية. ومكافحة الإرهاب مسؤولية الجميع سواء الدولة أو المواطنين. وأشار إلى أن الهجمات على أبراج الكهرباء إساءة لكل العراقيين. وفي السياق قال وزير الدفاع العراقي جمع عناد اليوم الاثنين في تصريح لوكالة سبورتينج أن الوضع في العراق يختلف تماما عن الوضع الراهن في أفغانستان لأسباب عديدة. واختتم حواره بأن قوات التحالف الدولي قدمت المساعدة والإسناد خلال هذه المعركة، ولكن النصر كان نصرا عراقيا بسواعد القوات العسكرية العراقية. العراق 27 اعتداء على خطوط الكهرباء في غضون أسبوع واحد. هجوم بطائرة مسيرة مفخخة على مطار أربيل الدولي في إقليم كردستان العراق. استهدف هجوم بطائرة مسيرة مفخخة مطار أربيل الدولي في كردستان العراق بحسب جهاز مكافحة الإرهاب في الإقليم. وأوضح بيان صادر عن الجهاز أن الهجوم لم يسفر عن أضرار بشرية أو مادية. وقال مدير مطار أربيل أحمد هوشيار لوسائل الإعلام محلية أن حركة الطيران في المطار تسير بشكل طبيعي ولم تتوقف. وأفادت وسائل إعلام كردية بأن سمع دوي صافرات الإنذار في القنصلية الأمريكية في أربيل. القصف الأمريكي غارات أمريكية في العراق وسوريا على قوات موالية لطهران، والحشد الشعبي يعلن عن قتلى وجرحى. إسقاط طائرة مسيرة بالقرب من السفارة الأمريكية في بغداد. وتتهم الولايات المتحدة ميليشيات مدعومة من إيران بالوقوف خلف هذه الهجمات. وأعلنت مجموعة مسلحة غير معروفة موالية لإيران مسؤوليتها عنه. أخبار متفرقة. مصر تستقبل أول حالة دلتا وتعلن رصد أول حالة لسلالة دلتا وتحذر بشدة. الحكومة العراقية تقرر تزويد إقليم كردستان بالوقود. أعلن السلطات إقليم كردستان العراق عن توصلها إلى اتفاق مع الحكومة الاتحادية يقضي بتزويد الإقليم يوميا ب1,000,000 لتر من وقود السيارات. عقار جديد لعلاج كوفيد-19 يقر استخدامه في بريطانيا. طالبان تسيطر على 10 ولايات من أصل 34 ولاية. هذا ما لدينا من أخبار وشكرا.
Welcome back, أخواتي وخطواتي بجان زي أورم يوخموخو till 5 to 7 إديو قصة خلنا زي مبلتخلوخو Chaldeans in America story was done I think long time ago. We used to play it a lot. I want to see my number one fans is my mother and my grandchildren. Their dad I think is next door, so he's not watching, right Achu?
Right.
So Achu قريلو خايت أخبار العراق قصة بس يوم بقرأ آخر بإنجليزي بعراق between تركيا وداعش in northern عراق بطورة مشوريلا بطياقة كده كشمخلا pipeline تجاس مشوريلا بطياقة شوارع small way اتلان على أمريكا because ليلة بقطال أمريكان تنما قنابل بقوي so يعني ليلة أخوات التيريزم إلى بش عرم terrorism إلى local people so the pipeline مدوكا إيكاوا IPPK قرذاي أدي إلى northern Syria بعراق border إلى بيوارة تاما خنة وبمخيي تاني قرذاي شقليلة oil تربيل دهوك تخنمن دانه مثواث السراي تاويل هذا وليث لا بابا ولا يما بيث بحكومة. what happened؟
ابقى ميثا ومستوليلة الكبيرة آبار النفط وأنا نفط الشقلي ولا ومزمني ولا تركيا من كيبا ومستفيدين منه. فأي أمريكا كم من عالة بعد لبش بعد مشغلة أنا آبار نفط مني وكم سلمالة الحكومة العراقية أو سوريا أو somebody بس ده ما وضلا يعني مشوريلا بتوارى أنابيب النفط. إيه كديت أنابيب النفط ديك الزالة التركية السورية من العراق إلى بتوري بقناوة نفط بالطريقة وبزبونة تركيا وهي مورد ديي الوحيد بش تورد أنابيب النفط وهي
وليث
لا
مرباطة
ليث لخدم حاسب له لا يثن حكومات ولا يثن يعني حكام ولا يثن خمريله متصرفين.
كله بشما وناش ديلا بعراق ويا بسوريا سراي ديا إلى أمبيل بلقى داث بندي.
يا دخيلة. وبنفس الوقت همنا عراقيين اللي بتورا أبار النفط همنا بقناوا نفط وبزبونة يعني مقضي الموقوذة اللي بعد بدل ما المقضي أويل يعني دايد أويل دكاوثخين يعني مخلفات النفط إلى موقوذة أويل دي لا بقناوا مستعملين الكبيرة يعني موقوذة من دانا كودي مني طغبوخ مثلا كودي مني
من البقناوي عراقيين يعني
عراقيين بقنا اللي بتورا أبار النفط وبزبونة
وعراقي التويرة
إيه
لخش من التا فاكسين تامت يا لا
لخش من التا فاكسين
لا تابا الزوني فاكسين لا
يا
سو مازي بارخش وتاي تيد
ناشي لاب مياثة كبيرة ومنظرة إلى من تشهر كبيرة وقاب دمريلو مثل شوية معنا قاب دمريلو 10,000 مصاب جديد يوميا و something like that. يعني وضع إلى كلش بفيها عرب قاعد العراق.
That's a horrible thing. دمرنا خخني سراي كل عمرا خواذت كمنه وقع شنده هركاخ وحطيمه إما دناشة ودهم بريلايد أفغانستان دم دقله وكم مشقة كموذيلة محقة دخل أفغانستان وطالبان كم قتليل عت أمريكان وآخر جيش ديان 20 years they were killing the troops 20 years killing them slaughtered them shooting them down shooting the base bring them back mentally not all there because of this war and we just pack up and leave. It's like somebody breaking your house, destroys everything in the house, and sits outside and wait for the police to come. And the police says, don't worry about it. Go home. So he just goes next door and does the same thing again and comes back. How can that happen?
وأنا إيراني إلى بجبرية عراقيين مستوردي سباق دي مثل مستوردية أدرك دي إلى كلها إكسباير مستوردي فواكه مخدرات كلها إلى إكسباير مستوردي كثياثة ميت أو كلها إلى تاريخ دي خليصة وناش لا جبري دخليلة لأنه إلى كل خليلك بشي سك لأنه إلى إكسباير تو وكان قبل مدة مستورد لا لكن هامني آلاف طن من الأسماك من إيران طلع كلها expired كلها
خلاندي نمشدون
كلها خلي يعني ريخة قوية ناشي جبيرة كم خليلة.
So ما قيبوخو أخواته وخثواته help the people. هلو donation هلو لا تأتو هلو لا adopt a refugee هلو لا emit to Catholic Church نكم شدرة تامو. I guarantee you could penny could dollar could $5 عين ثمندي. It's a critical situation. It's got really worse, and one thing I don't like about it is silent. لا خليل محكوي هرسفنا كلها لا ميرا زلا ولا ميرا ثيلا ولا ميرا مايثن ولا يغبش ما بقاوة آخب أمريكا ولا بعراق وإيك التاوي ميل ببرايا وتا كبيرة ناشئ كودك مردي إلى نشوثي يعني كذا بقاوة التن كبيرة ناشئ بعياشة بلبنان بعياشة بأردن بعياشة بسوريا ولدها سيلوخو مابريل بس سوريا كمرتو وأختو ناشئ بشراب بعمره مني ما important wawa talan ما كبوا على ناشديا كزوا ما قواوا نايس ومحكي لأمريكا ومحكي لغاني خنو ومحكي لإسرائيل وأسد الهادخ وأسد زي طايقلن وأسد زي هادخ وأسد هريلتي وتام وروسيا ويرا تامو أو ويرا تامو بس ناشديا دي للأرض the one they live every day dollar by dollar hour by hour they're still there so anyway dem شارو حاجة خير خخنو charity خدت something that عنده قصة بس لبن دو كل من دي community دي and you live very large they're doing a great job خوات الميرا خواتو وخطواتو you come Catholic in America with nothing on but the shoes and the shirt on your back and you try to thrive to make it and you make it and you got to send something back at least something to help through the church يعني why Lela had easy make it here either. As you know, we have our own problem here with this corona, with this work, with these restaurants not making it. With now the storat are very busy again. But it'd be a day, it'd be dark again because the Khuldani supermarket Trabe, Lekar min Shemay, Storat Trabe, Kabira, it's half empty. There's no stock, there's no inventory, there's a half of everything. And my God, on the way to Costco, we just look at the meat prices. My, I used to buy same 10 lamb chops 2 years ago. Let's say $16.95 or $17. Now it's like $36, $34. ولكن make it البصرة لكن make it بتاع so ميل دبراي بعراق my point مدي دبراي آخر it's the same thing but I go back to Corona. If you don't watch out and you don't be careful, nobody's going to force you to do what you want to do with vaccine or no vaccine. Just be careful and don't hurt your loved ones or your friends or your neighbor, especially yourself. We had many people passed away because of Corona, many beautiful people. We missed them, and they shouldn't have happened. But shoulda, woulda, coulda, it's gone. That's in the past. You got to look ahead and try to save. And yes, children and young, as today or yesterday, or was it tomorrow, we're going to bury a 23-year-old and we buried a 30-year-old today. Don't ask me what they had that didn't have. They died. And God bless them. Alam hasela, they died. So we're going to keep putting this out, keep doing what we need to do. So, أخواته وخطواته مدام رحلنا عطشوا in Iraq and مدام رناخانا بأمريكا it's the same news, isn't it? With this corona, with this terrorism, with this.
أخبار
Do you always like to relax?
أخبار دي لابثاية من العراق وسوريا ولبنان إلى كلش يعني محسنة. كان 40% من شعب العراق وسوريا ولبنان إلى تحت خط الفقر يعني لا دخلي. فبزالخ لبنان وسوريا بخازتها كدم خشكة طابور حميلة half a mile long بس الشاقل شدد لخمة
خبز
حامل تطلع الشيء هذا بالسبارة بس ده يقول شدد لخمة. ونفس من دي بسوريا وقاود عراق بزارخ التيخ يعني نجف وكربلاء أني حسينيات خازت ناشي حميلة طابور 1 mile long وكتخ تصتي بيدي حتى داري اللي خاربة خمش يعني سبونس هريسة بقاوة زي إلى أي درجة مطال الشعب العراقي خازتها بشول عند دستوا ثراب بشوارع بوزعت أي خالة تناشل ناشل التاير خالة لا تا لخمة ولا تا أي خالة ولا بسبارة بسبري لخ تطلع شيء مع قدور دي حتى أي ما عندي يد ماليل خاصة هريسة أو خاصة طلاخة أو something like that. أي لوضع العراق.
حقوي وكامل كادو أستاذ كامل كادو من داي دريسة ويت وسمارت وإيك درس والو خاي تاريخ.
أنا وكامل كادو درس لمغرب.
You did? I see you talked to him yesterday. Kamel is watching you now. So someday we're going to get you up here, Kamel. Now he can get out, can he?
كامل كادو درس إدارة الأعمال. أنا درست محاسبة وإدارة الأعمال.
Same thing?
Both of them.
Both of them. And then I came along.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so great, so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do for you. The mountains are His, the rivers are His, the stars are His trees. Handiwork too. My God is so great, so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do for you.
It's my mother's birthday. It's Miles George Zoma. He's 5 years old on May 9th, and we're going to go get him Dondirmo. Thank you, Maria Madro.
Good job!
It is a sacred ceremony, a union between a man and a woman, a celebration of love shared by family and friends. In many ways, the marriage of Ann Nona and Hadir Michael gives insight and understanding into the rich culture of the Chaldean community. Both families trace their ancestry to Iraq, the cradle of civilization, a proud heritage shared by more than 100,000 people in southeast Michigan.
Forefathers are buried over there. Our civilization is buried over there. Our culture is still over there. It grew over there and spread all over the world.
A strong Catholic faith bonds the community. This wedding was celebrated at Our Lady of Chaldeans Cathedral in Southfield. The liturgy spoken in the ancient language of Christ, Aramaic.
The Chaldean Church is the strongest institution in the community. The reason is because the people give value.
Deep-seated values that unite family and friends.
It is an agreement between both families, not only two families, but an extended family over relatives, friends, uncles, aunts, and everyone. Everyone feels that he is or she is part of this wedding.
We have continuity in our community. We have continuity because we have a very strong family values. We have very strong family relationships. We have very strong community relationships.
The bride's parents, like many Chaldeans in Detroit, were married in Iraq. Her father, Loué, came to this country in search of economic opportunity and religious freedom, an experience shared by thousands of Iraqi immigrants since the turn of the 20th century.
We want our pioneers to be proud of what they did and where they brought us, where they were and where we are now. And we want future generations, our American neighbors and friends, to know who the Chaldeans are.
War and suffering is the image of Iraq that most people know. Unfortunately, the harsh reality of recent history overshadows a dynamic and glorious past. Chaldeans trace their roots back 5,000 years to Mesopotamia, the land between two rivers, the home of the wonders of Babylon. The contributions of this ancient civilization are timeless: the invention of the wheel, the origins of astronomy and mathematics, the first use of writing.
These are really pioneers. The history of the Chaldeans is that of pioneering.
The library of Yusuf Nather is testament to the importance of preserving history and culture. He's been writing about the Chaldean legacy since migrating to this country in 1961.
I have a saying over there on the wall which says, the person who does not preserve his heritage should not exist, because your heritage is your life, is your original being, and it represents not only yourself, it represents the people you came from, the land you came from,
The vast majority of Chaldeans trace their family tree to small agricultural villages in northern Iraq. The largest village in the region is Tel Kiev, meaning hill of stones. The story of David Kessa is typical. A farmer who couldn't read or write, he migrated to Detroit in 1929 in search of the American dream. His wife and children waited back home while he made the 67-day journey on a merchant ship to the land of opportunity.
When you finally got here, what did you do? And he said, when you get up there, the man comes and says, makes motions. What do you speak? What language? He said, I spread my hands out and told him, nothing. So he brought a book of various languages, and he said, open it to what you understand. He said, I leafed through it, and I saw the Aramaic language, writing. So he said, I showed him the page, and I said, I went like this, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And he thought I knew what I was reading, so he says, go.
These are courageous people. Now, imagine the first Chaldean who came to the United States for a remote town in northern Iraq. He doesn't speak even Arabic, only Chaldean. He doesn't have any money in his pocket. This man has nothing but his willpower.
Like many Chaldeans before and since, David Kessa struggled to find work, but eventually opened up a small grocery store in Detroit with his younger brother.
I used to tell him, I said, Dad, how could you run a business? You couldn't read or write. See, I couldn't understand that. He said, honey, it wasn't like they are, today. You had 20 different kinds of coffees. We had, like 4 kinds of coffees. Maxwell House had a blue can, Hills Brothers had a red can, Beechnut had a red can, and Chase and Sanborn had a brown bag. So when a customer came in, you waited on them. There wasn't self-service. She'd want a can of coffee and she'd point to it, I'd get it for her.
Mary Kessa was born in Tel Kiev and came to Detroit in 1936 with her mother, Habuba, and sister, Warina. Many young Chaldean Americans mirrored Mary's experience. School by day, working at the family business at night. Marriages also were arranged between families. Dissatisfied with the potential prospects in Detroit, David Kessa sent his daughters to Iraq for a double wedding.
My sister and I flew to Baghdad in 1951, and after correspondence, of course, exchanged letters, pictures, and when I saw John's picture, I said, that's it, this guy's for me. He really was handsome, as was David, his brother. We went over there and married them. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It was a celebration for the whole village. We had 7 priests who married us. Believe me, we were married for 48 years, and I have never, ever enjoyed a human being as much as I did my husband, all 48 years of it. When he passed away, it broke my heart.
Hope, faith, work, family. The times and traditions have evolved, but the essential values of faith and perseverance connect more than a century of history of Chaldeans in Detroit.
The United States is really a plate of cultures. It's made of cultures. That's what's making it great. Although we're new here, we're only about 100 years or so here, but we made it.
The wall of old pictures tells a story, a family story, a success story, an immigrant story.
Everybody looks back, to their history as to what happened when they were younger and how they progressed to where they're at today. And I can tell you that I'm very proud of what our family accomplished, throughout the years.
Mike George is living the American dream. He built Melody Farms into one of the largest independent dairy companies in the Midwest. 5 of his 6 sons are building the family business for the future, a business that wouldn't have been possible without the determination of a young immigrant hoping to make a better life for himself and his family.
Polish people came to this country. They ended up in Hamtramck at Chrysler. The Arab people ended up in Dearborn and worked for Ford because they had supervisors that spoke dual languages. Unfortunately, the Chaldeans didn't have that privilege, and they were forced to go into business. And they went into the business they only knew, which was the food business.
Tom George came to America in 1927. and opened a small grocery business on East Palmer. His youngest son, Mike, was born and raised in the city and learned the valuable lessons of work and charity from his parents.
And I can tell you that as many a night when I closed my father's store and I went home, and there was just scores of people, you know, there that just come in from the, either got off the plane or got off the boat or off the train. And they were there, and my mother and father were feeding him and clothing him. And it distressed me at the time because we weren't very wealthy either. I mean, every dollar we ever made seemed to go to the community. However, as I got older, I realized the importance of that people have to help people.
This story of giving back is repeated countless times in the Chaldean community. Old immigrants helping new immigrants, families helping families. Even after Mike and his brother Sharkey successfully established their own milk business, they never forgot the sacrifices of their parents.
And whether it was my sisters or my brother or myself, every dollar we made went to my father. And that's the way it was. I mean, our tradition is the father is the head of the family. He supports him, he runs it, and everything comes to him. And it was a great feeling.
Tom George died more than 40 years ago, but his pioneering spirit lives in a new generation of Chaldean Americans.
And I say to myself, how did it really come about? How are we so fortunate, you know, to be able to come from such humble roots, you know, to become, you know, very successful in this country? And I can speak not only for my family and myself and my brothers and sisters, but for all the Chaldeans. They really did it because they were determined, they were aggressive, and they worked hard, and they did it with real integrity and honesty. And I believe in that. And I sincerely believe that the community will continue to grow as long as they maintain those principles.
Integrity, honesty, a strong work ethic. Principles that guide the Chaldean entrepreneurial spirit. Nearly 2 out of 3 Chaldean families own their own business. Duty, honor, country. The service of Chaldean Americans in the armed forces has a long and distinguished history, dating back to World War II.
Dear Mom, while we waited for landing boats, we looked at the beach. It had bomb craters all over. A house nearby was blown to bits and roofless.
Peter Essa was the only Chaldean American to fight in the Allied invasion of France. Just a few years earlier, he rode the streetcar to Dearborn with his father, Jeju. Peter was a student at the Henry Ford Trade School. His father worked in pressed steel at the Rouge plant. His parents immigrated to this country in 1915, drawn in part by a $5 a day job at Ford. In 1944, their American-born son was on bloody Omaha Beach.
Bodies all over, floating all over, and bombs exploding all around us. And I couldn't believe what was happening, but I figure I'm not going to last very long because I see all the other bodies, you know, laying around.
Private Essa survived the beach, but his entire platoon was killed in action the next day. His harrowing experience is preserved in a letter he wrote to his parents from a field hospital.
We opened fire. Each 20-round magazine I loaded, I killed or wounded 7 or 8 Germans. I was nervous reloading. I dropped a lot. The Germans were coming fast and they made plenty of noise. Our sergeant was shot through the head and died instantly. We ran like mad dogs. My buddy was killed. He had about 4 holes through his back. We kept running until we came to a hedgerow. This is where a machine gun got me right in the ankle, breaking all the bones.
The horrors of combat expressed in a letter written more than a half-century ago. Today, the images of war and suffering are immediate, personal.
We are attached to that country because it is the country of our forefathers. And when we see the war devastating that country, we are really devastated also.
But Iraqis throughout their history have always bounced back, always. And we feel proud that we will bounce back and we will make our mark again in the Middle East and in history. I always say the sparks come from Iraq. The sparks of civilization came from there. Many of the most ancient things you can think of started in Ur, in Babylon, and therefore it is not unusual that this will happen again in Iraq, and the Iraqis will be the new spark that illuminate the future for our young generation and for others.
In order to understand the Chaldean community, you must first understand their deep and abiding Christian faith. It is not only their source for spiritual guidance, but also the nucleus of the community. A minority religion in their native land, Chaldeans belong to the Eastern Rite of the Roman Catholic Church. There are 5 Chaldean parishes in the Detroit area, including St. Joseph's in Troy. This parish is home to the first American-born Chaldean priest, Father Andrew Yunan.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Despite growing up in the U.S., Father Yunan speaks one of the oldest languages in the world, Aramaic.
بسبب ديوخ إلى ملكوثة وحيلة وتشبحت العالم عالمين آمين.
His father, Case, immigrated from Baghdad to Detroit in 1978.
I was really shocked by the way the United States is, you know. I read a lot about it. I watched almost every movie that I can see in Iraq, you know, from the United States, but it was still a big shock. It's a very big country and different culture.
As Case successfully assimilated into his new life in America, he wanted to make sure his son understood his background, his heritage.
You know, the way I raised him, you know, I raised him in a way that he'll know about our culture, our history. And I told him, you know, his blood is not 100% American pure blood. He goes back to a lot of other towns and villages in Iraq, a lot of cultures, very deep in history. And I used to bring him to church every Sunday, encourage him to learn the language, Aramaic language, and somehow he fell in love with all that, and he became a priest.
Preserving the Aramaic language is a challenge for American-born Chaldeans. It is also a challenge in Iraq. Case Yunan has personally helped schools in northern Iraq to teach subjects in the ancient language.
If we can't preserve it in the place of origin, we cannot preserve it anywhere else. It has to be preserved there. That's where the roots are. And if it disappears there, there's no hope that the language will stay. And it's a very, very rich language, beautiful.
Diane DeAugustini wants her 2 young children to understand the Chaldean culture and her family's background.
My daughter, who's 9, is really interested in the culture and asks a lot of questions. Besides the language, there's so many things I want them to learn. Chaldeans love their food and they're proud of all of their recipes. Their weddings, they're a gregarious group. You know, they love to celebrate, they love to be with family, and they have their very deep religious faith as well. And I really try and talk to my kids about all of that.
Diane's parents, Salim and Suham, immigrated to Detroit in the 50s and ran a grocery store in Highland Park. She never really got to know her dad, one of the most respected members of the Chaldean business community.
It was January 18th, 1970, and an individual came in and robbed him and thereafter shot him several times. I remember it very vividly, and I think anytime a child goes through a traumatic experience, it might just be frozen in their mind.
Diane's loss is shared by many families. More than 200 Chaldean business owners have been killed on the job, a sad history that ultimately influenced Judge DeAugustini's career path.
When someone you love is taken in that fashion, as a criminal scenario, you want to know everything about it, and you want to understand why could something like that happen. And it taught me that was something that I wanted to be involved in, to at least do my small part, whatever it is, in the system, which is when I graduated from law school and then went on to the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office.
The former Oakland County prosecutor was elected to the bench in 2000, an emotional win made possible by the support of the Chaldean community and the memory of her father.
Everyone knew what a wonderful human being he was, and they took that into consideration, that they wanted to see that happen for me. They knew my mom and the family that I came from. It was truly an overwhelming experience for me on Victory Night when they were crying and they were overjoyed over my victory. And I will forever be thankful for that memory. It is a great memory for me.
Who would say that faith is very important in our culture?
It's very easy for us to assimilate in this very diverse culture, very diverse mix of cultures. But we want to amalgamate, to borrow a chemical expression. We don't want to dissolve. And how to do that is the challenge.
It is a challenge Summer Kassab is facing in the West Bloomfield schools. That is the reason she's involved in CARE, Chaldean Americans Reaching and Encouraging. On this day, she is reaching out to a group of middle schoolers, encouraging them to explore their history, trying to answer the basic question, who are we?
For me, being Chaldean is going to church on Sundays. Got to be respectful to not only your elders, to the youngers, to everybody, and just stay close with your family, keep in touch.
Everyone cares about me, all cousins, they care for everyone.
I think these Chaldean students here, it's important that they identify with another or a fellow Chaldean who's been in those same situations that they've been in. Many times they can identify with me. I feel that bringing those together and being able to explain through certain experiences, personal experiences, is what makes these kids connect to you.
Making a connection to kids and the broader community. Recently, the Chaldean News was created to bring stories of people, places, and a rich culture to readers in southeastern Michigan. And soon, the public will be able to enter 5,000 years of history at the Chaldean Community Cultural Center. The sprawling new facility is being built on the grounds of the Shenandoah Public Golf Course and Banquet Facility in West Bloomfield.
Well, I'll tell you, I personally am so proud because I was born in the old country in Tilkif, and coming here and seeing what we've been able to accomplish and what this Shenandoah facility is going to do and bring everything to fruition.
The 92,000 square foot facility will serve as a gathering spot for the community and a museum for the public. The goal is to immerse visitors in an ancient culture through exhibits, artifacts, and recreations of Babylonian life.
It's a great, rich culture and heritage that we want our children and our grandchildren to appreciate and to know about and feel proud about, and also to share this with our neighbors and all our friends and all the community here in the metropolitan Detroit area and elsewhere throughout the world.
We are really building something beyond a building. We are going to put life in it. We are going to put programs in it. We're going to put stories in it. We're going to put magnets in it for our youth, our upcoming generation, to come and discover their roots, bounce back to culture.
I am take you, Hadir, to be my husband.
A new generation of Chaldean Americans are beginning their journey, understanding the sacrifices and contributions of the pioneers who built the road of opportunity they now walk. But these young people are making their own path, realizing their own dreams. Yosef and Gule Nather's oldest son is a prominent tax attorney in California. Another son is in computer technology. Their youngest graduated from the University of Michigan with a business degree. Mary Kassa's mother, Habuba, lived to see what every immigrant prays and works for, the building of a better life for the next generation.
The happiest day that my mother had was when my second daughter graduated from Wayne State School of Medicine. After graduation and, all the hoopla of graduating, she went to my mother. She says, "Grandma, now I'm a doctor."
What we are accomplishing today is hugely different from what was accomplished in the 30s and 40s. But without the 30s and 40s, we could have not accomplished anything in the 50s or the 60s, and without the 90s and the new decade, we will never accomplish what may come 50 years from now. So every generation has had an opportunity to lay foundations for the next generation.
Hope, faith, work, family. This is the Chaldean community. This is their story.
سيرة بسيرة وليلي ليلي مايرة كرخوباني بسيرة طول قبالي زايرة قري سيرة بسيرة وليلي ليلي مايرة قري سيرة بسيرة طول قبالي مايرة مصوارة هي وهي وليلي ليلي مايرة مصوارة هي طول قبالي سايرة شيل بفرم من هويب بلا بلكم من وتجد البيم بلا خالنا من وتقارز بيم بلا بشكل معارض بيم بلا بالي من البيم بلا تحاب اخذ السرسر من وكان الجرات محاصر بيم امان 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 الشوط يتم بالخير شو ما عندي واري غريبي حاطر عندي واري غريبي وفرصة يا ريدي مش طبيبي فرصة يا ريدي مش طبيبي في دنيا بيطلعوا نصيبي في دنيا بيطلعوا نصيبي ورا 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 رحيمك ورا 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 جانبين بينك ورا للرغبين حالي قشت الاشجبين اما بينك ورا ورا للرغبين حالي قشت الاشجبين شو ما عندي ورسار يجيني حطم عودي ورين بالي بفندي عيدار غير وكرواني ما دلتا بغير وكرواني الباجواني واشو بالي لو يقدر رزواني بجامي اشو بالي كان ساقلاني ورا 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 رحيمك ورا 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 جريمين بيلكي ورا للرغمين حلا دي قشت الاشيمين هما بيكي ورا ورا للرغمين حلا دي قشت الاشيمين شاير بمصية حيبا جونا مالو لازيك شواخ الاسكر مصية ورا 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 رحيما اي ورا 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 شيمين حمامك وراني ربين حلالي بوشتين شيمين.
There's a sense of anticipation, electricity in the air. You think tonight is your night, and you're in luck, because here, a great time is a sure thing. This place is certified hot. This is Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Go on a hot streak unlike any other, with hundreds of the hottest slots, certified by their manufacturers to be set to the best paybacks guaranteed. Plus the hottest table games and sizzling live entertainment and nightlife. So why play at just any casino when you can play at the only casino and resort that's certified hot? This is your night, and it's time to experience more at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
Regency Manor Banquet Hall. Telephone 248-353-1133. السيد أمير نيجر مستعد لإقامة كافة مناسبات الحفلات والتعاسي وغيرها. مشهورين ومختصين بعمل الشاورما اللذيذة وجميع المشويات والقواضي والصواني المشكلة بأنواعها. جلسات ليلية ممتعة مع الأهل والأصدقاء من الاثنين وحتى الخميس من كل أسبوع. بار كامل من المشروبات الروحية. المحل واقع على الميل 12 ما بين تلغراف ونورث وسترن هايوي. تلفون 248-353-1133 248-353-1133. ريجنسي مانر يرحب بكم. أسواق قاشات ميديترينيان ماركت أند بيكري. ساهر قاشات وأولاده يقدمون لكم بضاعة شرقية مستوردة يوميا من كافة مستلزمات مطبخ ربة البيت، من المعلبات، الأجبان، الألبان، الشرزات، الترشي، البهارات، فواكه وخضروات فريش يوميا، لحومات طرية منوعة فريش، فروزن فود، ديري فود، أطيب المشويات اللذيذة. مطعم كامل داخل المحل لتلبية طلباتكم وحفلاتكم. صمون ومعجنات حارة يوميا. كيري أوت أند كيترينج. المحل واقع على شارع نورث وسترن هايوي والميل 14. تلفون أسواق قاشات 248-538-9552 248-538-9552. تلفون المطعم 248-538-9558 248-538-9558. أهلا وسهلا بالجميع.
Southfield Funeral Home, Jerry and Ferial Yonu, 12 Mile in Southfield for 37 years, 17 Mile in Rhine, second location. They do funerals, كل أمريكا, Michigan, كل استيتات, California, Arizona, على Louth, Emmett Kibbe, خابر Jerry and Ferial Yonu. West Side 248-569-8080. East Side 586-275-0429. 37 years in business. Price, quality, service, excellent. أي شو طلعتي شنة funeral home business. That's all they do. هراي لشولي. They are part of our community and we are part of them. 37 years. Jerry and Ferial Yono. Welcome back, Akhawatha Khathwatha, to John Zia Oram show. I think the story we just put on is the most touching stories I ever seen in a long time. The Chaldeans in America, because I get asked constantly, who are you guys? What are you doing? Where are you from? Because the only thing they hear about is war, and war in the Middle East. And we are Chaldean Catholics in the United States of this America, in Australia, and Greece, and New Zealand, and England, and Mexico, and Canadian, right in Canada. Since
Australia.
Where?
Australia.
You've been to Australia. I should get to the microphone. Why you always look at me instead of talking?
No, that means our people, we got lots of people in Australia.
So what year did you come here?
1965.
Why you smile when I asked you that? I thought you told me you got here in 67.
65. We were about maybe 75 families only here.
In 65.
Yeah.
And we got this big.
Right.
Wow. So you started, what did you do, Achu? Let's follow the story today.
I went to school for a couple of years, and then I started.
You came by yourself?
By myself. I came in as a visitor, and then I went to school for 2 years.
Seriously? You weren't an immigrant? Yanni, you came as a visitor? Get
Yeah.
to the mic. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I started working for Ford for like 3.5 years.
As a young man?
Yeah, and then I made little money, and then I bought me store.
You did?
Yeah.
How many years it took you?
Well, 4 years to buy me store.
You worked 4 years by yourself here?
Right.
You had, I'm sure you had somebody you knew here, like Achu is a name, they've been here a long time.
Nobody helped me. I paid cash for my store.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you pay income tax?
Of course.
Oh.
I worked almost 4 years for motor company. I used to make more than my foreman was making. My foreman.
And you saved it?
My foreman come and show me his check, and my check is time and a half more than his check.
And you saved it?
I was putting lots of.
And you saved the money?
Overtime.
You save it?
Right. I work Christmas and New Year.
Wow.
All holidays, all Sundays, 7 days a week.
So you build it up?
Right. Yeah.
And you bought your first party store or supermarket?
It was a fruit market, and then I turned it to a party store.
How did you become a very, very famous butcher in Detroit area? You were very good at what you did. You didn't learn that in Iraq, did you?
No. I opened a meat department in my fruit market.
Okay.
Yeah, and I started.
So you mix the vegetable and
Right.
meat as they do today.
I bought lots of books how to cut meat. I read it all and studied it, and then I.
So you didn't go on a computer and Google?
No.
You didn't Google it?
No, there was no Google at the time.
Oh, there wasn't?
There were books.
Oh.
Yeah, from standard food, I ordered lots of books through them. They used to sell.
So you learned it yourself?
Right.
To be that good of a butcher?
Right.
Did you work for big stores like Farmer Jack or anything?
No,
Because they pay big money at the time,
No, I
right?
never did. I work in a liquor store for my cousin, that's it.
So by the time you open your first business and by the time you retire, how many years was it?
I worked almost 52 years, open and close, almost.
52 years, no day.
In the grocery business.
Day and night?
Day and night. Lots of days I used to work like 18 hours.
But you enjoyed. Did you enjoy your neighborhood, your people?
Right.
You waited.
I never felt tired.
You were always in Detroit? You never moved anywhere
Yeah,
else?
always in Detroit. Sometimes I go to Eastern Market. Most of the time, I fill my trucks with all kind of.
Get to the mic, please.
All kind of fruit and vegetables.
So you came here as a young man.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to hear this because a lot of you, through me, and through John Achu, you know.
I was 28 years old when I came in here.
Wow. I didn't know. I thought you were like 19 or something.
No.
So, Khaltu Miriam, when did she marry you?
And after 2 years, I got married when I was 30.
So she was helping you too?
No.
What did she do?
She was working for for Hudson as a
Hudson department store.
Yeah, Hudson department alternator, like sewing clothes. So you buy suit, it doesn't fit you, she fitted on you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Downtown or in Northland?
Northland.
Wow.
Mostly for women, not for men.
Oh.
Yeah, just for women.
So she saw the dresses.
Right. Yeah. Taylor. Next to Hudson.
Michael Oram is helping us here, our producer.
Next
Taylor.
to Hudson, there was a store they call them Himmelhawks. Also, he was selling dresses.
That's where Cal Yono had the tuxedo store?
No, was next to Target, between the Target and
there was a Target back then too?
No, later they opened Target.
They came in.
Yeah.
So Hudson department store.
Yeah, and Himmelhawks was kind of.
Mrs. Achu retired from there, or she had left?
No, she worked maybe a couple of years. That's all, and then I let her sit home. After I made some money.
You made some
And
money.
She had a couple of babies.
She had the babies, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, how did you meet her? I Need Americans, friends of ours. Thank you so much. We got a lot of it. We have a new show now, and the new show is called "Listen to Us and Watch Us." It says we listen to you and he meet you and watch you. And everybody asks me, and we call him Acho, John Acho, what's going on? They always say, we listen to you. We don't understand you guys. Kathy, now you do. All right?
I met her at Burton Manor in Livonia.
The hall we used to get married.
There was a big wedding party there.
Yes.
And I met her there. And then I told Joe Acho. He went and talked to her father. He said,
it was a fixed wedding, we call it.
We are glad to give you our daughter.
Huh? Her father's name was Joe?
No, Joe Acho went and talked to Zia Oram, her father.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you were tall and handsome.
Right. They saw me, they said, you're welcome.
So you had a business back then or no? Or you got after?
No, I was working for Ford.
So she married you working for Ford?
Yeah.
No wonder she's happy with you.
Yeah.
And you've been married 20 years now?
Almost. I've been married for 52 years.
Wow. See? Beautiful. Uh-huh. That's nice. So you worked your way up.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and
nobody helped me.
Well, how do you think you get help? I mean, Americans most of the time
I helped lots of people, but nobody helped me.
I need you to get. I can't hear you, so I mean, no, I can't hear.
The volume is down.
No, it's not. It's your voice is away.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So nobody helped you in a way. How should they help you? They could have loan you money, or you wanted to get a job.
I don't need no help.
No way. I mean, honestly, when you were young, you thought you come to America and somebody was going to say, what? We're going to do. You worked for your own.
Right, yeah.
You earned everything you got.
Yeah, I never borrowed no money from nobody. No money from
So
nobody.
you earn your money, you bought a business, you build it up.
Yeah.
And how many stores did you have the highest time?
Total stores, I bought and sold 5 stores, 5 supermarkets.
And they were called, what was there? You had a butcher or something, right?
Two small stores and 3 large supermarkets.
What would you do different if you start over again? What would you do? What did you learn from this business? Opening a business as a young man.
I came in here to study accounting, but my friend they changed my mind. I already went to Lewis.
Oh, America Sapp? Was he a friend? Didn't he go to the same school you did?
No, I went to a couple of years to East Side Design just for passing time until I.
They changed your mind to do what?
They changed my mind from studying bookkeeping, like accounting.
So like accounting.
Accounting.
To open a business.
Right. Yeah. And then
But Chaldean, traditionally, for thousands of years, we used to own it our own and operate 18, 20-hour days.
Right, yeah.
As a young man, my mom's probably Ila Bishma'a. I started when I was 13.
Yeah.
I caught the first customer stealing when I was only in Detroit in the United States 3 hours.
Right.
I went to my brother-in-law, late Salim Dukhu in Highland Park, and I saw this lady put a lot of steaks in her blouse. I didn't know that's how you shop. I thought it was a bag. So when she came close, I told them I was walking back there. I saw the lady putting meat. So when I asked her, she had the steaks down there.
Yeah.
And that was in 1966.
Right, yeah.
So it doesn't matter who you are if somebody's going to take something.
Right.
And I think we should do stories on our people on this show.
Sure.
To teach this new media we have now, Chaldean American media, that we can reach out.
Right.
Because we work in America, we live in America, we marry in America.
Yeah.
And we're going to die in America. We're the only people, ladies and gentlemen, Chaldean America. Somebody was at our campground yesterday and asked me.
Yeah.
Our campground, not Chaldean campground. Chaldean campground is closed.
Yeah.
Okay, it's totally closed right now. And asked, how do we get here? Who are we? We spend tens of millions of dollars into economy. We hire thousands of people. What does that mean? We are Eastern rights, as Mort Krim said on the show, and we are people that came here and looking for an opportunity, just like anybody else arrive here. And we have 0.1 problems, crime, commit crime, do anything else. We are family-oriented people. We still make mistakes. There's no doubt about it. But we grew into who we are as a community, and we are proud to be in America, proud to be in Canada.
Right.
It's we have listeners all over. I am dual citizenship, and proud to announce my friend that owns a brokerage company, Top Mortgage, is here in Detroit area, and is also opening an office, San Diego, California. Coming soon there in San Diego, California. I've been knowing Alex and his team for about 15 years. They are a broker. They're just not any mortgage people. And he came from Lebanon, all by himself, had nothing. Still working, a young man. So you can call Alex anytime, 248-841-4000. And every Wednesday, Michael, is it between 6 and 6:30, right? Between 6 and 6:30, we'll have a Top Mortgage show. We'll teach you which to borrow, not to borrow, how to refinance, how you do reverse mortgage, every Wednesday between 6 and 6:30 p.m. on John Zia Oram Show, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Apple, on Alexia, on Apple Radio, and Android. Everything you got, especially watching us on YouTube at home or Facebook on that TV, it's free. My sister, Saham Kamral, the TV is free. Sue, I know you were babysitting me one time. There's nothing free. You may think it's free, you're getting it. Somebody's paying their monthly fee for that YouTube. So there's nothing free. We pay because they have the right to shut us off. So we do the same thing. So the reason we're talking about Chaldean story today, because it was kind of interesting how I constantly get asked, where'd you come from? Who are you? Especially you and I traveling a lot.
Yeah.
We've been trying to figure out a way on the RV. How do we do a traveling show by the Chaldeans? It never happened before. From here to California, from New York to Alaska. But we can't because Corona. Everywhere me and John Achu go to, we drive thousands of miles. Yeah. They either closed the restaurants or on the way to closed, or they have no staffing, or they have no worker. So as the people are coming to America to work, and it doesn't look like a lot of them are coming right now, there's a rumors that, certain countries are bring this much and this much and this much. I think the trench immigration laws in the United States are the toughest in the world. How you get in here, I don't know. I think you have to file your papers and get in America. So whoever sneaks in and does what they need to do, they should turn them around, put them on that plane, and send them back. Because it's hard to be an immigrant. Then you dream to come to America. But you should come to America the legal way as possible so you can have what Mr. Achu did. A lot of you are probably texting me and smiling that Achu is finally on the air. You like being on the air?
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you don't get near the microphone, I'm going to take you off the air. So you worked hard, right?
Of course.
And you raised your family.
Right.
And you have 3 grandchildren now.
Right.
And who's your friend?
Friend?
How many friends you have?
Now?
Yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2.
That's it?
Yeah.
My mom just texted me. You know my mom texts, right?
Right, yeah.
She says, you are a good person. Yom, كمثالي أربريش الدوم أربع خا تريت لاثة أربع زي أربريش.
لك ما تقاش تطوي.
And you're right. You know I've been losing weight, right? And you work hard. And Christine says you're a good man because you really worked hard. But you raised your family.
Right.
What does the word means? I got a text when nobody helps you. Is it like a bank supposed to help you, or was it a relative you think it was going to help you? Who was going to help you?
Yeah, you go to
I
the
never
bank.
see anybody knocks on the door and says, "Hi, you need any help?"
Usually friends help friends, but none of the friends that I never asked nobody for help, and I never went to any bank to borrow money. All the money I made is all cash.
But when you're on the plane, you can buy plane or a boat.
On American Airways, American airliners.
It wasn't Iranian, it was American?
No, American.
Oh, because Shah had his own flights coming that time, you know?
Right, yeah.
So when you came, when you were on that plane, and I wanted people to hear us.
Yeah.
And I never asked you those before.
Right.
What were you thinking of dreaming arriving in America? What were you dreaming? Were you thinking that the money grows on tree like we are taught over there or anywhere in the world?
I came to study, but something happened, then I didn't study. I was going to finish the college, like bookkeeping and accounting, but
oh, you thought you were going to
and
go back home to Iraq?
No, stay here.
Oh, you were going to study and learn.
Learn to study, stay here.
And what stopped you? Money?
Friends, they changed my mind. Oh, we're going to waste 5 years. 5 years, you're going to have a
We're having that
supermarket.
problem today.
Yeah, you're going to have a supermarket. You're going to be rich. This and that.
But you worked for 52 years, technically without a day off, really.
Right.
Because I know when I met you, when I opened the show, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
You told me, you almost cried, that you really never took a time off for your family, vacations.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing.
I never took even vacation.
I know that one. I took you somewhere. You asked me, when did they put this up? I thought you were joking.
Right.
You never saw a casino.
No.
You never saw a lake like when you were going.
No.
You never went to Mackinac.
No.
You didn't go anywhere. You were just working hard.
I went to Bablo Island.
You went to Bablo Island? I wasn't there yet. When I got there, I saw your photo there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael, did you see Mr. Achu on the south side? You went on the cruise together, you and my son Michael?
Yeah, yeah.
Were you on the cruise too?
Yeah.
Oh.
I got lots of pictures there.
So that was your first cruise ever?
Yeah.
And that was first time seeing Florida?
Right.
After 52 years here?
Right.
And it was first time in 52 years on an airplane?
Right.
What did you just, were you committed to your job, your store, or your business?
Yeah, mostly. But my honeymoon, I went to New York for like 10 days.
Whoa.
Yeah. I spent my honeymoon in New York.
Khalta Miriam told me one day, I told her we're going to Windsor for dinner before Corona, remember?
Yeah.
She says, I'm glad you're taking him to Windsor. He didn't even take me to Botnai.
We reside in a Bristol Hotel on 2nd Street.
You remember that?
Bristol Hotel, yeah. So my wife, she been in Mexico. She went to visit her uncle, Judge Haji.
Haji?
Judge Haji is very, very famous in Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah, she went with her brother. She visited Judge Haji and his kids.
They lived in Mexico?
He had a wife.
She went on vacation.
He had a wife in Telquiepe, but he sent after wife.
Come on, my mom's uncle did that.
Yeah. She told him no. Either you come here or you're going to see no wife. So he married Mexican, and he had 2 kids from her.
And what
a
happened?
Boy and a girl.
He went back to Telquiepe?
No, he never been to Telquiepe. He stayed in Mexico.
Ahmed Yemi.
Yeah.
Telacho wound up in Mexico City.
Yeah.
Bimechai.
Yeah.
And he just married a girl.
Yeah.
And he had a couple of kids. They still there. They were
Yeah.
grandkids.
Yeah.
But his wife left Telquiepe
Yeah.
30, 40 days, 4 months later, wow, found him in Mexico City. Don't ask me that. I don't think there was no Facebook then, right?
No, no.
There wasn't?
No.
There was no Google?
Nothing.
So how did she come for 4 months, found him? I heard from my mom, she grabbed him by his ear and she took him home.
Probably.
So that's your wife's uncle did same thing?
Yeah.
Wow. How do you know you're not Mexican yourself?
I'm sure I'm Chaldean from Telkip.
From Telkip, right?
Yes.
But you live in Baghdad for a while.
Yeah, after middle school, I went to Baghdad and study accounting.
How are we doing on time? Yeah. Well, Michael Acho, he tells me what to do now. And Michael was born in Telkip. Did you know that? His name is Jirgis. I named him after my grandpa. That's a beautiful feeling. I like your story. I think we're going to do more stories like that.
Yeah.
Khawatha Khatwatha, our time is up. We thank you for listening and watching John Zia Oram Show. I feel like pumped up, but I still got that little corona worry on me. I will take my third shot this Thursday before the politic of Biden or anybody else announce. You call or you go on the website, cvs.com, and you put your information in, and they say yes or no. I put my information in. They don't talk to you about your health issues. They just ask if you're concerned and you have your immune system, and you should do it based on the Israeli government stories today all over the media. You guys should Google it on Google. It says after so many months, the Pfizer and Moderna, whatever that name is, the other company, Moderna, right? What is it? Moderna. They go down to 40%. It scares the heck out of me. And yes, I have diabetes and I have a hernia problem and I have cholesterol. And I got on CVS.com at 1:30 this morning. In 5 minutes, I was approved to come in Thursday, a store in Southfield, to take the shot, third shot. And I'm telling you, get your shot. Christine, listen to this. Read the Israel government story on vaccine in Israel. Nobody's smarter scientific-wise than that country. They send a lot of their people to education that are unacceptable anywhere in the world. Unbelievable. Great. And read that. So we'll be back Wednesday. And our first show Wednesday will be with Top Mortgage with Alex and his team from 5 to 7 p.m. We'll be with you, and he'll be with us from 6 to 6:30. And we'll probably have a new host coming in Wednesday, and we work together. We will speak a lot of English and a lot of Chaldean, and we enjoy it. And God bless you. We'll be right back.
شمشت قدم ياثا قاوخك بسمي وماثا زروثي ينربوثي من نخت نطرا بركاثا يا شمشت قدم ياثا قاوخك بسمي وماثا زروثي ينربوثي.
Thank you, Akhawatha Khathwatha. God bless you. Thank you for watching us. You can see us johnziaoram.com or John Zia Oram Show, Facebook 24 hours a day, or YouTube 24 hours a day, anytime to hear this show again. Please push subscribe on the YouTube. Subscribe on the YouTube on John Zia Oram Show. That helps us a lot. God bless you. I love you all. Love you, Mommy. Welcome home. Mm-hmm.
جهيلخ ونهيلخ وما قعوذة بغزيلخ شلام بخاين نزريلخ وبلبخ حب ندريلخ ما قد جهيلخ ونهيلخ